Now, in the first part, I spoke to you about the 4 important brain deceptions regarding long-term flashbulb memory. Just to recap, the first one was source amnesia and truth bias error. The second one was consistency and confabulation. The third one was thematic gist. And the fourth and final one was the incorrect belief that greater confidence equates to greater accuracy. Now, why is knowing this relevant to your day-to-day life? How would it be effective for you? As always, I like to illustrate my points with a personal experience. A few years back, I got into a really bad argument with a friend. I won't go into the details, but the reason why it was so bad is because I took it beyond the heat of the moment. We all get into arguments in the heat of the moment, but I actually took it beyond the heat of the moment, and it lasted for several weeks. And of course, this can be really harmful to a relationship. When you drag out an argument like that, sometimes you can go beyond the point of no return. Luckily, my friend and I were able to get over the silliness and realized that it was all just shit that doesn't matter at all, and we're able to remain friends even to this day. But after learning all these ideas about how the brain works and its deceptiveness regarding memory, I decided to reflect back upon different situations in my life, and in particular this really bad argument. And I realized that I was basically committing all those brain tendency errors that I've been speaking about in this previous video. The argument was an emotionally laden event, and because I was emotional, I wasn't thinking with my reasoning skills, and I decided to take it beyond the heat of the moment, like I said. And then in the coming weeks, I actually spoke to different people who were witnesses to the situation. And the funny thing is, I took on board all the people who agreed with me. I took on board all the points of the people who agreed with me, and conveniently left out all the points of the people who disagreed with me or told me to let it go. And what's even worse is that I incorporated the points of those people who agreed with me into my own narrative, not attributing it to them, but actually saying that, yeah, this is what I saw happen as well. So as you can see, there was that whole confabulation thing going on in order to keep my narrative of the situation consistent with my memory of the situation itself. Now, these days, after realizing, how much error and how inaccurate my memory can actually be, every time I get into a situation where I think I'm about to take an argument beyond the heat of the moment, a red flag goes up in my mind. And I ask myself 2 important questions. First off, how can I be sure of the accuracy of all the points and details? And the second thing, how important is being right, even with all this uncertainty, compared to maintaining my relationship with this individual? And I'm sure you guys can see in your own situations and in your own past arguments with people exactly what I'm talking about regarding getting emotionally involved and making up stuff and taking on the points of people who agree with you and leaving out the rest and so on. And I want you guys to really take all of this on board, because to be effective in any sort of situation, not just this type of situation, but any situation, we need to have wisdom around it. And like I've said in my past videos, wisdom is made up of experience and knowledge. Now, the funny thing is, I didn't think that you could actually gain knowledge about an argument, but as you can see, you can learn about the brain's processes and how deceptive your memory is. And when you're armed with this wisdom, in the future, when you get into these situations, you'll be able to exercise that red flag muscle. And each and every time that red flag goes up in your mind, it gives you the ability of choice, because once you realize that red flag, you can take a step back, take those big 3 deep breaths that I keep telling you about, and get grounded so that you can access that reasoning mind and ask yourself those 2 questions so that you can avoid all the harm, pain, and tears of a long drawn out argument. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say today. Coming up next, I have some extra training footage from my gym that I recorded earlier in the week, just again to share a little bit more of my other interests with you guys. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Hey everybody, Tarek here. I'm at Into Fitness Gym in Noble Park. I'm just going to show you some of the training I do. Now, everybody follows a training program, and it's really important that you follow what your personal trainer says, or you follow a really good written out
tried program, but sometimes just for the psychological and motivational aspect, I like to throw in a couple of different exercises and workout routines just to keep myself motivated. So here guys, have a look. Guys, that was my workout routine. I hope you enjoyed it. I like to put something like that together from time to time just to keep myself motivated and have a bit of fun. Now, I'm a big believer that the mind is the body and the body is the mind. So it's really important for you to do some sort of exercise routine on a regular basis, not just to keep yourself healthy, but to keep your mind healthy. It goes a long way. So I speak to you guys in the next video.